Welcome to the Morning Update. I'm Erin Ramsey. Canberra is assuring us the vaccine rollout is going according to plan. It comes despite complaints it's been stunted with less than 1 million shots given so far. Federal Health Department Secretary Professor Brendan Murphy insists the issues are with overseas supply, not domestic rollout.
There's no vaccine that's sitting in storage being unallocated. Every dose that we get is being allocated either to contingency or being distributed for the purposes of vaccination.
It comes as regulators in Britain examine whether the AstraZeneca vaccine causes blood clots. The European Medicines Agency believes there is a link, but there's uncertainty about what's causing the reaction. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says the current advice is to keep taking the vaccine.
Look at what the HRA say, our independent regulator. That's why we have them. That's why they're independent. And their advice to people is to keep going out there, get your jab, get your second jab.
Foreign Affairs has been holding talks with the Chief Medical Officer on whether other countries may be suitable for a travel bubble with Australia. It follows the decision to allow Aussies and Kiwis to travel to and from New Zealand with no quarantine from April 19. Foreign Affairs Minister Maurice Payne says there's plenty of interest from Pacific nations.
New Zealand's decision is very important for that. And then, of course, there are countries in Southeast Asia who will also be very keen.
Australia's ambassador to the United States has been caught up in an identity scam. Arthur Sinodinos has been targeted by cyber attackers who impersonated him using WhatsApp. Several other diplomats have also been affected. Federal police are investigating the security lapse. And small brewers in Australia are calling for a tax break so they can employ more staff. 35% of the cost of producing a litre of beer currently goes to tax. Small wine producers can claim back $350,000, and the beer industry says it's time it was offered the same concession. To sport, Adam Reynolds is on the verge of walking out on South Sydney after he was again refused anything more than a one-year contract extension. Souths won't commit to a 2 or 3 year deal because of the NRL salary cap. In AFL, Lance Franklin is set to return for Sydney for tomorrow night's showdown against Essendon. The Swans are wary of the Bombers after they beat St Kilda by 75 points. And the Western Sydney Wanderers and Central Coast Mariners have drawn 2-2 in the A-League. The Mariners given a controversial penalty late in the second half to level the score. In entertainment news, Harry and Meghan have announced their first Netflix series just weeks after their tell-all interview with Oprah. Named Heart of Invictus, the docu-series will follow competitors as they prepare for the 2022 Invictus Games. Harry will appear on camera and will also serve as executive producer. Kim Kardashian is officially a billionaire. The reality TV and business mogul has been included in Forbes' billionaires list for the first time, her net worth increasing to 10 figures after selling part of her cosmetics company. Meantime, Donald Trump has dropped nearly 300 places on the 2021 billionaires list. The former US president estimated to have a net wealth of $2.4 billion. Forbes says he actually lost money during his presidency by failing to sell off properties. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcasts team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.